DreAllDay.com.
Those of you checking in for the first time, don't know me. Yo, Do the Right Thing is in the classroom. That's right. Working Your Game University is in session. My name is Dre Baldwin. Many people know me as DreAllDay. I am an empowerment expert, professional speaker, professional athlete, branding and marketing expert, author of 5 books, and as of tomorrow, I will be a TEDx talker. Now, what I want to talk about today, first of all, let me preface this. You can't find the Diddy video. Go to Facebook, type in Diddy, go to Diddy's Facebook page, and it's right at the top of the page. I'm looking at it right now. Diddy's Facebook page looks like this. See that big blue check? That's Diddy's Facebook page. If you didn't see that video I told y'all about, go to Diddy's Facebook page after this and look this up. Watch that video at the top. Just listen to what he says in the video. The video is like 2 minutes long. Facebook, Diddy's Facebook page. But anyway, let's get to the topic here. Let me preface this by telling y'all something. A lot of the videos that I make here, the central points of what I'm saying is not brand new information, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not telling you some groundbreaking, like I never ever knew a word of what Dre just said. You understand that? Ann Raines, you just watched that video. Tell us what you saw, Ann. That a Diddy video that I'm referencing, Ann Raines just saw it. Ann is going to tell us in the comments what she just saw in that video, because I was telling everybody to watch this video on Facebook, Diddy's Facebook page. That video he has up where he's talking about, it's like a little montage video of him about to do a show or talking about his mixtape that he put out. But it's not about the music, it's just about the mentality. If you just hear what he says, is the mentality of it, that if everybody had that mentality, man, it'd be a lot of competition at the top. So hopefully Ann tells us what she saw in that video, but let me get back to what I was saying. Everything that I say to you is not going to be completely groundbreaking. Wow, I never thought of that ever before in my life. What I'm going to give you is something that you might already know about, but you have not applied, you're not actually doing, and I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to disseminate this information to you in a way that you'll actually be able to digest it and start actually using it. Because my point is not to inform you. I'm not an information expert. I'm an empowerment expert. See, empowering people doesn't necessarily mean telling them something that they didn't already know. Empowering people means taking something that people already know that they're not actually doing, that they're not actually using, and they start doing what they're supposed to do. Is the connection bad? Good. Ash Cardes said the connection was giving her trouble. MVW, what's up? Can everybody hear me, see me? Is the connection good? Is my words moving? Is my mouth moving with the words? Is everything straight? Can everybody see that? Yes or no? Let me know, please. Is the connection okay? I'm on Wi-Fi, so I don't know. Ain't nothing really that I can do. Are we good? All right, cool. So what I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I say empowerment, is not information. All right, I'm not telling you something that you might not have already known. I'm telling you something that you might know. This is the thing you got to understand. I'm going to empower you. You see, they know how they say knowledge is power, but then they say applied knowledge is power. So I'm showing you how to go from knowledge to applied knowledge to you actually getting a result from what you're actually doing. Because I can't empower you if you're doing something and you're not getting any results, you're not getting any success, you're not empowered. You're still weak. So if you want to be empowered, you got to actually get the results from what you're doing, not just be doing stuff. It's be, do, have. So the first step is what I talk about all the time, is the mentality of everything is the B side. That's why I told y'all to go to Facebook and look at this video on Diddy's Facebook page. He did not pay me to say this, is because what he's saying is his mentality, the mentality of how he thinks. If I had to believe it based on what I know about Diddy, is what he's saying in that video is really how he is on every single day of his life. And if somebody's like that every single day, then man, they can do anything. I don't care. You ain't got to be a rapper. You could be a book writer. You could be a seamstress. You could be a janitor. You could be a painter. If you take that mentality, that could take you wherever you want to go. And I'm not preaching to y'all. I'm not telling y'all, yo, you need to do this, you need to do this. The stuff that I'm telling y'all in these videos, I'm telling myself at the exact same time. Because you can't talk about this stuff over and over and over again and not start to get it for yourself. Let's look at Ann's comment. Look at that comment, y'all. Read that comment. He wants to be where the billionaires are at, close to the money in the same zip code. And it might not, listen, your motivation might not be money. Everybody's not motivated by making money. Everybody's not motivated to be famous. Everybody's not motivated to have 1,000 followers on Periscope. Everybody's not motivated by attention and material things. It's not about that. It's about when you see somebody who's doing what you're doing at a level that's 10 times bigger than what you're doing it at, you need to get as close to that person as possible. Get so close on that target that it's impossible to miss it. Because when you get around that circle of people who are doing it 1,000 times better than you're doing it, the exact same thing, you ain't got no choice but to step your game up. You can't be around them without stepping your game up. Do you understand that? You got to be around you got to be around those people. If you're a millionaire and you want to be a billionaire, if you go get to where the billionaire is at, you walk into that house and you hang with them every day, you got two options. Either A, they're going to kick you out of their group because you're bringing their average down, or B, you're going to start stepping yourself up. Not stepping your actions up, not stepping your material possessions up, stepping up who you are as a person. Remember, be, do, have. If you hang around billionaires for every day for a week, you're going to start talking differently. You're going to start thinking differently. You're going to start acting differently. You're going to start just the way your whole spirit is going to be different because you're around a different type of people. Like, how many of you, is anybody here who does not smoke? Anybody here who just never smokes at all? Sports is the same thing. You hang around people who are way better than you. You go to the gym with 5 guys who are super 10 times better than you, and you work out with them every day for a week. By the end of that week, you're going to be playing basketball a little bit differently. You're going to be thinking a little bit differently. You're going to see the game differently. All right, so there's a bunch of y'all who never smoke. So think about this. If you spent a week hanging around a bunch of dudes who smoke, you spent the whole week hanging around 5 people who smoke all the time, are you going to start thinking a little bit differently? Are you going to smell a little bit differently? Are you going to look at life a little bit differently? Are you going to you're going to be like, your mind's going to be in a daze for a few days. Like, yo, what is this? What's wrong with me? Because you got this energy that's conflicting with your normal energy because you're around those people. So when you get around people who are doing something different than what you're doing, it has no choice but to rub off on you. That energy will rub off on you immediately. So if you want to get worse, hang around people who are worse than you. If you want to stay the same, hang around the people who are the same as you. If you want to get better, go find the people who are better than you and start hanging around them. And Loka says he's not a follower. Listen, this is one time you can be a follower. Go find somebody who's 10 times better than you and just follow them. Follow that guy. All right, follow that team, follow those people, follow those girls, follow them for a little while, and then try to figure out a way you can make yourself valuable so that they let you stick around, because what they're doing will start to rub off on you, and you have no choice but to get better if you hang around those people. Exactly. You hang around people who are like those pros. Get around those people who are way better, and you'll get there. And that's kind of what Diddy's saying in this video, but don't take my word for it. Go to Diddy's Facebook page. I'm going to show this for the last time. Watch this video. Trust me. Watch it and then watch it again. Watch it till you memorize the words. It just came out today. Now listen, this is what we're going to talk about today. That's not even the topic. The topic is where there is no competition. And the reason I preface this video by telling y'all that what I'm telling you is not always some groundbreaking, brand new information, because I'm trying to empower you to actually use it, not just know it. Because people know a lot of things. Like, how many of you know a whole lot of stuff, but that you never actually use? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Y'all know people who, or even you yourself, you got a whole lot of information in your head. You're like, I know that, I know that, I know that, but you don't actually use any of that stuff. Thank you, OMG Jane, for sharing and inviting followers. So everybody, can y'all please do what OMG Dame just did? Swipe to the right and share this on your Twitter feeds. Let people know that we are talking about where there is no competition. And trust me, it don't even matter if it was 3,000 people in here hearing this. Most of them are not going to use what I'm telling them anyway. So don't worry about too many people getting the information. All right, don't worry about that. Never worry about too many people having information, because information is free. Anybody can get it, but guess what? Most people will not use it. So don't worry about there being competition of people having information, because people get information every day and do nothing. What separates people is their actions. Their actions and the way they think. That's what separates people, is not having the information. Because listen, if information made people great, everybody in the world would be great, because information is free and everybody could just be great for free. But guess what? Anything that's free ain't got much value. So let's talk about where there is no competition. This is where there's no competition, ladies and gentlemen. No competition. Actually, I was looking at my list here. This is where no competition is, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you a quick story first to be able to summarize this. This guy named Tucker Max. Any of y'all heard of Tucker Max? He's an author. He wrote a book called I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. Then he wrote a book called Assholes Finish First. Then he wrote a book called Sloppy Seconds. Then he just wrote another book called Mate, and is about how males can be better with the opposite sex, a more serious book. His first 3 books is more like comedy, being funny. Hopefully everybody can see me here. D-Darg said the connection got bad. Listen, I'm on Wi-Fi, so if the connection get bad, it's Periscope. It's not me. It might just be a lot of people using Periscope. But can everybody see me right now? I just go off the hearts. So I see if the hearts are coming in, then I know it's working. His name is Tucker Max. Tucker, Tucker. Crystal H2O, what's up? Tucker. His last name is Max, Max, Tucker Max. And he wrote 4 books. He's a really good writer. He's a speaker. He's a big name in the author world. He actually just started his own publishing company. Now, here's what Tucker Max said. Tucker Max said, the reason why, yes, that's the name right there. Thank you, Poe Man Tyrone, for writing that name out. This is what Tucker Max said, because he's like this average at best looking white guy. And he's writing in his books, because he would write these books about how he would go out and date all these girls and have sex with all these girls. It was like every college guy's fantasy, the way he wrote this book. Every average white college guy's fantasy. That's what he represented. And on his blog, he would say, I get so many emails from guys who are in college and they're trying to get girls. And they ask me, Tucker, what is it? How do you have so much game with the girls? What do you say when you meet a girl? What are your pickup lines? What kind of cologne do you wear? What kind of clothes do you wear? How do you pick out the right girls? How do you find these girls? How do you do it? What's the key, Tucker? What is the key to being a guy who can have sex with so many women? And I'm just telling y'all the truth. Listen, I know some of y'all might not be ready for this type of conversation, but this is what he said. I'm telling you straight what he said. He said, this is the questions he's getting. Guys are just asking him, I want to get as many girls as you. I want to have sex with a whole bunch of girls at college. I see all these hot girls when I go to the bar or to the club, but I can't get them. What are you doing, Tucker? What's the magic key to getting all these girls? And this is what Tucker said. Tucker said, the reason why I'm able to it's not be an asshole. That's not the answer. The reason why Tucker said I'm able to get so many girls is very simple. Because when I walk into a bar and I'm looking around at the bar, and you have 5, let's say you got 20 girls who are in 8. You got the 0 to a 10. You got 20 girls who are in 8. You got a few 7s. You got some 6s. You got a bunch of 4s. You got these 8s. You know what most guys do? These are Tucker's words, not mine. He said, you know what most guys do? They try to go talk to one of those 8s. They try to go talk to one of the 8s, or what they do is they lower themselves. They go talk to one of the 7s or the 6s, or they talk to one of the 4s who's coming up to them. Tucker said, you know what I do that separates me from everybody else? And this is wide open information, but you know what separates me from everybody else? He said, I go to the 110 that's in the whole bar. I go talk to the 110 female that's in the bar. I talk to her, and I end up getting her. You know why I get her? Not because I got some great game, not because I got some cologne that makes her fall in love with me, not because I got these great pickup lines that I learned from some book, not because I had the best looks, not because I'm the biggest, strongest, most charming individual in the world. You know why I get that 110 that's in the bar while everybody else is going after the 8s and coming up short? Is because nobody else is going after that 10. So when I go and talk to that girl and give her some attention and just have a normal human being conversation, she's interested in me because I am the first guy who approached her and talked to her all night. He said, you know what happens? All the guys walk in the bar, they all see the girls. They see the 6s, they see the 7s, they see the 8s, they see the 9s, and they see the 10. Now, females who are in here right now, can y'all confirm or deny? Can y'all corroborate what I'm saying right now? That how many of y'all ever go out, right? Y'all go out, I'm talking to the females only. You go out and you're out somewhere and there's a whole bunch of guys in there and you see a bunch of guys, they'll look at you, you looking at them, they see you see them, but they never come over and talk to you, but they keep looking at you all night. There's the same guy looked at you 20 times, he's looking, he moved over there, he's looking, you moved over there, you're looking, you walk past him, he's looking at you, he sees you, you gave him an opportunity, you might even gave him eye contact, you might actually be interested in him, but he never came over and said a word to you. Female, look, can y'all see this? Males, are y'all looking at this? Are y'all looking at the comments? These are the females in the room telling y'all that this happens over and over and over again. Hopefully y'all can put 2 and 2 together what I'm saying here. I'm going to make it very simple for you. And females, this is also going to be for y'all. This is not about dating, but I'm just using that as an example. Thank you, MVWTK. She understands. Every female who left a comment, thank you. Y'all understand. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. Tucker said the reason I'm able to get those girls is because I'm the only one who goes and talks to them. All these dudes come in the bar. They see the 6s, they see the 7s, they see the 8s, they see the 9s, they see the 10. They all go after the 8s. They all go after the 8s. They all go after the 7s. A lot of them end up settling for the 4s and the 5s. None of them ever approaches the 10. They look at them. They see them. The girl's looking back at them. The girl's obviously by herself. And look at what Natty Bay said. When I'm all dressed up, I get no attention. When I'm running to the store looking blah, they love me. Why? It's because people got a different perception. Right? So when she's basically saying, if I'm correct, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's basically saying when she's all dressed up and she's looking like stunning, guys are afraid to approach her. But when she looks like more like, let's say, quote unquote normal, for lack of a better term, guys are more what's the word? More confident, more ready to come talk to them. So that's what it is. And Chris said when it comes to black folks, we all go for that 10. No, not necessarily. Here's what happens with black guys, and I'll just put this out there because I'm black. When black guys see a 10, it's not that they won't say nothing to her, but they'll say something real dumb because they know that they know what they say has no chance of getting a reply. So they'll say something dumb so it seems like, oh, well, I said something. They didn't really say nothing. When they're serious, they'll say something like honest and mature, but they don't because they're not approachable. Like MVW said, she's more approachable when she's dressed down. And see, this is what black guys do. They go say something dumb to a girl who's a 10 so they can say, I said something, when they had no real intention of getting a response for what they said. They know what they said is like so ridiculous and no respectable woman is going to reply to it. But then they say, well, I said something to her, she didn't reply. But when they're serious, they say something serious to the girl who's a 7 or a 6 because that's the one they think they can get. Exactly. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm black. I know this. Trust me, I've seen it for years. So what I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Max, the reason why he's able to get as many girls as he did is not because he out-competed with the other guys. He wasn't even competing with anybody. There was no competition because he went after the one thing that nobody else wanted. And guess what? The one thing that nobody else wants is not the thing at the bottom of the barrel. See, a lot of people settle for what's at the bottom of the barrel. Y'all ever heard of, when they talk about economics, you got the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class? There's a lot of people at the bottom of the barrel in that lower class. If you ever drive past like a WIC office, like where they give out welfare and free stuff, did you see how many people standing outside that line? There's a lot of competition for that stuff. There's a ton of competition for that. At the bottom of the barrel, there is always a whole bunch of competition. There's a lot of dudes who go out to bars, get drunk, and at the end of the night, you know what they do? And MVW said, listen, they settle. White guys do the same thing. All right, European guys do the same thing. Exactly. Listen, there's a ton of competition at the bottom of the barrel. When guys go out to the bar, how many times do you see a guy who actually, females, can y'all tell me this? Let me ask the females again. Let's get a female's opinion. Females, have y'all ever been out somewhere, right? And you see a guy who you actually might think he's attractive. He might be a 7 or 8. He's respectable, but then he leaves the bar with like a 3 or a 4 or a 1. And you looking at him, you don't say anything because you don't know him, but you like, why is he leaving with her? When he's like a 7 or 8, he could at least got her or at least try to talk to me. Exactly. Look, listen, fellas, are y'all seeing this? Fellas, I want to make sure y'all understand this. And this is not a dating tips periscope. But what y'all got to understand how it balances the parallels between this and all of life. Exactly. He's afraid to be told no, and the females see it right all the time. They see these guys who actually are respectable. Like this guy's an 8. He could talk to that girl. They're all 8s too, but he ends up leaving with a 4 or a 1. Why? Because people settle in life. People go after what they think they can get, and they have these limiting beliefs about what they think they can't get that they don't even try to go after. It's just like, I think Naday is what she said. I think I pronounced her name. Tell me your actual name so I can get your names right. She said when she's dressed in a way that she's like looking stunning, guys won't talk to her. But when she's more casual looking, more normal looking, they think they got a chance because they have these limiting beliefs that when they see that stunner, they like, damn, I can't get that. They don't say that out loud. They won't tell you that, but they're thinking it, and they show you in their actions that Renata. All right, so Renata, just like she said, when she's dressed like that stunner, they don't say nothing. But when she's dressed more casual, they think they got a chance. So this is the parallel that it has to life when we talking about Tucker Max. He said the reason I'm able to get these girls because I go after the highest one, the highest rated girl that I see, in my opinion. Exactly, Crystal said, scared of rejection. Scared of rejection. All right, Tom says he's committed to watching these scopes. Absolutely, you should be. So let me get to the point. He said he goes after that 10. The reason why, this is what he said on his blog. The reason why I've had sex with so many women and so many of them have been attractive is because I go talk to the one attractive girl who nobody else in the bar wants to talk to. There's no competition. I'm not competing with another guy. I ain't got to fight nobody. She doesn't have 6 guys hanging on her. I just go up to her and have a conversation with her while all the other guys is chasing after the 8s. That's how I got to take the 10 home. Because guess what? Even though I'm just an average looking guy, I don't have no pickup lines. My jokes might not even be funny. Guess what? I showed her some attention. I was the only person in that whole bar the whole night who showed her even 1 minute of attention. She's interested in me. And y'all know how to be interested. How to be interesting is be interested. So he goes over and talks to her, lets her talk about herself. All of a sudden, she's interested. Why? Because he's the first guy who had a conversation with her the whole night. So guess what? She's going to go home with somebody. She ain't got no but one choice, and she goes home with him. That's how he was able to get these girls. So that's one of the things he talked about in his book. So how does that parallel to the rest of life? How does that parallel to the rest of life, ladies and gentlemen? And this is what it is. This is where there's no competition in life, ladies and gentlemen, is at that 10 level. So you take it be dating, let's say is your business, let's say is playing sports, let's say is your money, let's say is you building your brand, let's say whatever it is, the competition is, there is no competition at the 10 level. Now I'll tell you something else about this guy named Tim Ferriss. If any of you ever read the book called The 4-Hour Work Week or The 4-Hour Body or The 4-Hour Chef, Tim Ferriss, he wrote those books. And one of the things that he wrote in his book, The 4-Hour Body, he said, the competition is highest at the average levels. For example, what he said in his book, a lot of people, he said it's easier if you're trying to raise money. He said it's easier to raise $10 million than it is to raise $100,000. And why is that? It's easier to raise $10 million because there are so few people trying to get $10 million. There's a whole bunch of people with $10 million checks just waiting to hand it to somebody who wants it. But there's so few people who ask for it, they never get it. But there's so much competition, people trying to get 10,000, 15,000, 100,000. You know what happens? There's 1,000 people going after it, and there's only 100 checks available, and a whole bunch of people never get it. They're like, man, I'm trying to get this 10,000. Nobody will give it to me. But if you just change that 10,000 to 10 million, you had 3 people offering you the 10 million. You got to pick and choose who you want it from. Y'all understand that? You got to raise the level of your ambitions, what you're going after. When you raise that, all of a sudden there's so little competition out there in life, because 95% of people in life don't believe. 95% of men walk into a bar, they see the 10, they think, I have no chance of getting that 10. Let me go talk to the 7 over here who I got an opportunity with. 95% of people don't believe they could be on a billboard in the middle of Times Square and replace Diddy's ad on the billboard and put themselves on the billboard. Guess what? There is very little competition for that billboard. 95% of people don't believe that they could be the best player on their sports team, or they could have the most followers in their neighborhood, or had the most viewed video, or whatever. Y'all understand the point of what I'm saying here. You got to raise the level of your ambitions to where there is no competition. Everybody is competing in the middle. Everybody's competing for the average. I was listening to this speaker yesterday. His name's Andy Andrews. He said, all everybody does every single day is wake up and they start contributing to the average. Because let's look at this. Look at it like this. When we talk about competition, if you look at what everybody else is doing, if you look at, all right, we're going to get to the questions after I get done the points. So hold your questions. If you got them, just hold them. I will get to them. If you look at what everybody else is doing who's around you in your environment, in your industry, in your field, then you say, all right, I'm going to be the best out of everybody here. And you do better than all of them, so you're above the average, you're still contributing to the average. That's what Andy Andrews said. He just said that yesterday. This podcast I was listening to is the first time I thought about it that way. I said, that's great information. I need to share that. If you look at what everybody else is doing, you look at what the average is doing, even if you say, I'm going to be better than all of them, and you outdo them because you see what they're doing and you do better, all you're doing is contributing to the average by you're bringing the average up a little bit. You understand that? You're bringing the average up. Because people talk about, this is again Andy Andrews, he said, everybody's talking about thinking outside the box. Think outside the box. Let's do things outside the box. Well, if everybody's thinking outside the box, then it's no longer outside the box. What you need to do is get completely out of the neighborhood, get out of the universe, and do something completely different than what everybody else is doing. Think completely different, do completely different, be completely different, and you'll have completely different. And what that means is one of the things Andy Andrews said, he was like, you know, a lot of people, they settle for things. They like, man, I'm all right with this. I don't need that much money. I don't have to be that known. I don't need all those girls or whatever it is your goals are in life. Andy Andrews said this. He said, if I handed you a magic wand and told you could do anything you want with it, I handed you a magic wand and I said you could go to every area of your life and make it however you want, what would you do? You would multiply everything by 1,000,000, right? You would take your money, you would be a billionaire. You take your car, you had 30 of them. You take your house, you had the biggest house in the neighborhood. You had the most attractive male or female on your arm. You had the best and biggest everything. Do y'all understand that? Sharmi said, what's the name of my class? You in it right now. Work on Your Game University. WOYGU. Work on Your Game University, like a school. He said, if I handed you a magic wand, you would multiply everything in your life by 1,000,000. Right? Am I right or wrong about that, ladies and gentlemen? If I handed you a magic wand and told you can do whatever you want to do with it, you would do the max of everything you could possibly do. Is that true or not true? So y'all tell me. If I'm wrong, let me know. Because if that's wrong, then it's wrong. But I want y'all to let me know if that's right or wrong. If you had a magic wand, you would multiply everything to the highest level you possibly could. Yes or no? All right, I got one yes. I got two yeses. Somebody tell me. Steve Burke says yes. Nelson says yes. Black says yes. Poe Man says yes. Ace Girl says yes. Tasa says no. MV says yes. Bryce yes. Vivid yes. All right, so we just gonna go with yes. All right, Charmy says yes. Chris says yes. Yes, you will multiply everything by 10. So the question then is, and again, this is Andy Andrews. He says, if that's true, ladies and gentlemen, and this is asking all of you, same thing he asked me when I'm listening to his podcast. If that's true, why would you settle for anything less? Why would you settle for anything less? Loca says, would that make me an extremist? An extremist is like, you can't drive with the emergency brakes on, Locus. You can't say, I want to be the greatest at everything, but I'm going to be an extremist. But I'm going to have too much. But it's going to cause me too many problems. But people are going to think I'm too good for them. You can't drive with the emergency brake on. Either you want it or you don't. All right, you can't go through life like, oh, I want to be great, but I don't want to be too great because it might cause me an issue. You got to just go for it. All right, you're going to have new problems. Understand this. The more successful you get, you're going to get more problems. All right, you will never be without problems. All right, because some people think, I don't have this, I don't have that. These are problems. But then when you get a whole bunch of it, guess what? You're going to have new problems. Grant Cardone talks about this in the 10X Rule, his book. You're always going to have problems in life. What you want is not the elimination of problems. The only person who doesn't have problems is a dead person. All right, anybody who's alive has a problem, at least one of them. You either just finished one, going into one, or going through one. What you want is different problems. You just want better problems to deal with. Let me tell you one of my problems that I want. This is a problem that I want. Within the next year, you know what problem I want? I want the problem of having too many people trying to book me that I can possibly physically serve. I want too many people. I want 10 people trying to book me for the same date, and I got to pick one. That's the kind of problem I want. I'm like, damn, I just missed out on 9 engagements because I can only do one at a time. That's the kind of problems that I want. I want the kind of problems that I got so many emails from people who are fans of mine, who read my book, who heard my scope, who saw me speak somewhere, who read about me in a magazine, who want to get me to respond back to them, and I want to, but damn, I can't because I got so many that I will never be able to get through all these. That's the kind of problems that I want. All right, that's the kind of problems I want. Charmy said, how do we book you? Email me, Dre@DreAllDay.com. You can the link to my website is right in my profile, Dre@DreAllDay.com. That's my email address. That's the kind of problems I want. All right, you always going to have problems. All right, I want to have a kind of problem that, here's another problem I want. Within the next 5 years, I want to have a company and an organization that's so big that I don't even know the names of all my employees. Like, I got people, I'm signing their checks every week, and I'm like, who is this? I don't even know this guy, but I'm paying him $100,000 a year. That's the kind of problems that I want to have. All right, so you're always going to have problems. There will never be a point where you don't have problems. I want to have a kind of problem where I got so many people watching this Periscope stream that everybody's tapping the hearts and the app crashes because there's too many hearts coming in at the same time and they can't keep track of it. That's the kind of problem I want to have. So you will never be without problems, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me get back to the topic. Where no competition is where those 10s are. And again, that's an analogy. All right, so males, females, young, old, whether you marry, in a relationship, single, y'all get the point. Where the 10s are, that's where there's no competition because nobody's going after it. So if you're trying to raise $10,000 right now and you're having trouble, try to raise $10 million. I guarantee the person who got it, I'm not saying this guaranteed you're going to get it, but guess what? The person who got 10,000 got 100 people calling him every day trying to get 10,000, right? See, the person who got 10 million, nobody ever calls him. So I guarantee if you call, you'll get through and you'll get to have a conversation because nobody ever calls a guy who has 10 million. The same way that the girls who are the 8s at the bar got 10 guys. It's like a line, it's like a parade of guys who just keep coming up to them. But see, the girl who's a 10, she's just standing there and nobody's coming over. It's like, damn, like, what's wrong with me? Did I put deodorant on? What's the problem? What's the problem? Why ain't nobody coming up to me? Nobody ever comes to the 10. So that $10 million goal, nobody ever looks at it. It's sitting there, $10 million is available for everybody. But nobody's coming for it. All right, nobody's coming after it. What's up, Storm? I appreciate that, man. So that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be on that billboard in Times Square, it ain't too many people going after it. It ain't too many people you got to beat out. Dorov says, what's the topic? Swipe to the right. We're talking about where there is no competition in life because there are places where there's none. So let me address this. If you're in a situation in life, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a situation in life, all right, Poe Man Tyrone said, if I'm a 7 and I hit on a girl who's a 10, am I a 10 or is she a 7? No, it's not like that. We're not talking about your circle of 5. It's a whole different thing, Poe Man Tyrone. So don't take everything I say literally. Like if I say something, that means it must apply to every single situation in life. You got to be able to take what I say and apply it fluidly as it applies to your particular situation. Do you understand that? Don't take every word and take it literally like as a law that you must absolutely do. You got to make it apply to how it works for you. You understand that? Just like in the 48 Laws of Power. In the 48 Laws of Power, I'm drawing parallels like Mercer said. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene is 48 different laws of power. One of the laws of power is court attention at all costs. And to get attention, you might have to talk a lot and be out there and have people see you. But another one of the laws of power is always say less than necessary. So you can't get attention if you're not really saying anything sometimes. Sometimes you get a lot of attention by saying nothing. But you got to be able to know when to use which one, how it works. All right, that's my favorite book, The 48 Laws of Power. Steve Burks, he knows what I'm talking about. Y'all know that book? Look it up. Go get it right now, Robert Greene. Now, back to my topic. There is no competition, ladies and gentlemen, the higher you aim. So if wherever you're at right now, let's say wherever you're doing, your business, your sport, your life, your relationships, you going to the bar, whatever it is, if you're encountering a lot of competition, that's because, and it's not physically, I'm talking about the way that you think. I'm not talking about where you're at. Because listen, if you go try for a basketball team and there's 12 spots on the team, there's 50 guys trying out, you can't quit tryouts. You still got to try out and make the team. Understand is the mentality that I'm talking about, not the physical tactics, is the mentality. If you're encountering a lot of competition, if you're looking around a room of 100 people and you say he's competition, she's competition, they're competition, you got to raise your level of thinking. You got to raise your level of thinking to so far above where those people are thinking that they're no longer competition. Even though your results right now might be the same level as theirs. Theirs might even be higher than yours. But guess what? When you raise the level of where you believe you can be, of who you believe yourself to be, those people cease to be competition. So this is the be, do, have principle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure we get this right. I always got to make sure I explain the be, do, have principle. So the be, do, have principle is you got to be it first, then you do it, then you have it. So when I talk about raising your level of thinking so that there's no competition, that doesn't mean that the first thing you do is go start doing different things. That doesn't mean that, because now you skip the step. All right, you skip the step. The first step is you got to get in your mind. You got to get it set in your mind that your aims are so much higher than all those people who you just considered to be competition. You got to get in your mind first that your aim is higher than theirs. So now you're being a different person. Now this might not happen immediately. You might not be able to be a different person in the 25 minutes that this video takes. You might have to take a day. Go sit down with a pen and pad or with your phone, wherever you keep notes, wherever you write things down. And if you don't have somewhere you write things down, now you need to go get somewhere to write things down. You get that location and you start writing it down. What are my goals? Your goals need to be at that 10 level. So whatever you're doing in life, I don't know what any of y'all do, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, your goals need to be the same way that instead of going for the 8s at the bar, you're going after the 10. You're going after the dime. So wherever you think your goals are, you probably need to raise them a little bit. And if you raise them, what do you lose? You lose nothing by reaching a high goal. Grant Cardone said in the 10X rule, I started rereading it today. He said, would you rather come up short? Because listen, because some people say, what if you don't reach your goal? You ever hear somebody say that? Well, I want to set high goals, but what if my goal's too high and I don't reach it? Question, would you rather come up short trying to make 100,000 or come up short trying to make 100 million? Which one would you rather fail at? Me personally, I'd rather fail trying to get 100 million than fail trying to get 100,000. So if you're going to come up short of your goals, you might as well come up short of the biggest goal you could possibly get. Right? So if you want to get rejected by a girl at the bar, you might as well get rejected by the 10 than get rejected by a 6. I mean, at least you tried. At least you got some experience. You got a learning experience that you might be able to use the next time you go to a bar. Maybe you said the wrong thing. Maybe your breath stink. Maybe you ain't had the right clothes on, but at least you learned something. But if you go talk to a 6, what are you going to learn? Or what are you going to get better at? Nothing. At least go talk to the 10. At least try. You know, one of my mentors actually, she's one of my mentors in the speaking business. Actually, and I want to tell you that story. This is a guy I work with. He has a mentoring club. He has a mentoring club for like young kids, middle school kids. And he said at the end of the year, you know what happens? At the end of the fiscal year, if any of you who ever work in like corporations where they have budgets for like marketing and advertising and supporting charities and mentorship programs and things like that. In November and December, the people who head up those departments, they're looking as hard as they possibly can for places to give money away. Why? Because it gets to the end of the year and not enough people ask for the money. This guy, he works and he has a mentoring group, and he was like, yo, this dude came up to me 2 weeks ago. This is 2 weeks ago. I'm talking to him. He was like, this dude came up to me 2 weeks ago, and he was like, yo, I see what you're doing with your program. We got some money that we have not been able to give away. We want to give you guys $25,000. You got to go to this website and fill out the paperwork. And he said, and the dude was telling me, he was like, Dre, the reason why that money's available because the money is available all year, but nobody ever asked for it. Nobody ever asked for the money. So he came up to me and said, yo, you need to apply for this money so you can get the money, because if we don't give it away, it just burns up. Nobody does anything with the money. And this is Chris, we talking about, this is like a corporation. I don't even know who it was. Doesn't matter. That's not the point. Understand the mentality. I'm not telling you tactics, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a tactician. I am when I'm making online courses that I charge for, but this is not one of those. I'm not a tactician. I like to work with people on their mental, because when you change the way that you're thinking, the way that you think is a direct reflection of who you are. Who you are, and rather who you are is a direct reflection of how you think. So when you change how you think, you change who you are. And what is that? Be. When you change who you are, you will do different things. Do. And when you do different things, you will get different results. Have. Be, do, have. So it all starts with thinking. When you change what you think about, you change who you are, and everything else changes from there. But you got to make sure you do the first step and do it right. So write down whatever your goals are. Write them down. Write down your goals for what you want to do, for where you want to be, and put a deadline on your goals. Put a deadline on your goals, and even if you don't make them, it's okay. If you say I want to make $1,000 in the next 24 hours and you come up short because you only made $800, would you be all right with that? Would you be all right with coming up short of $1,000 by making $800? Would you be cool? Would you be cool with half of that? Would you be cool with 10% of that? If you just set that as a new goal when you had 0 goals before that for the next 24 hours, is the mentality. Understand? Don't copy the exact by the letter everything I'm saying. It's the mentality, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing you got to do is get down your goals. What do you actually want to do in life? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have? Where do you want to go? What type of person are you going to be? And here's the next thing you got to write out. You got to write out a vision statement for yourself. Not a vision statement for the cars you're going to drive or your house, none of that. Who you are as a person. This is who I am. I am a leader. I am the person that everybody in my company looks to set the example. I'm the person who's always first person in the office. I'm the person that people look to when there's a crisis and a problem has to be solved and only one person can solve it. I'm that individual. I'm the person that everybody else looks to gain energy from. You got to write out your vision statement for who you are as a person. Not who you are now, but who you see yourself being. Now, if there's some elements of you right now that are where you want it to be, good. Then you will continue to be that person. Write that down. I will continue to be blank, whatever it is you're great at. I will continue to be this person. I will continue to do these things. I will continue to have these material possessions, whatever it is. You got to write out a vision statement of who you are as a person. Again, who you are as a person. It's not all about the material stuff or what you're going to do, but just who you are. What do people say about you when you're not around? What do your friends say behind your back? What would somebody say to you if they was introducing you on stage to an audience of 100,000 people? What do you want said about you? And you might not be any of those things right now. You might be 0% of the way to being that person right now. But the first step is you to know where you're going. Remember that? You got to know you in Dallas in order to get a flight from Dallas to New York. If you don't recognize that you're in Dallas, you can never get the flight to New York. So you got to recognize where you're at and then write out the vision. So you know you're in Dallas, write out New York. Write out what that vision, what that New York vision is. Write that out exactly as you want to be as a person. And here's the third step. Here's the third step, and this is a really important third step. You must immerse yourself in these visions, in these ideas every single day. Not once a day. Not for 5 minutes when you wake up and 5 minutes when you go to sleep. That's 10 minutes out of a 24-hour day. Is that enough? Is that immersion? You can't immerse yourself in something for 10 minutes and a day is 24 hours. That don't make no sense. You still got 23 hours and 50 minutes of doing all the other stuff that's not getting you where you want to go. You got to immerse yourself in it. Now, does that mean you got to read it over and over again all day? No. What that means is you take those goals that you have, the goals that you have, and the visions that you have, and you go find things that relate to those goals and those visions, and you consume those things throughout your day. That's why I pointed out this Diddy Facebook page, because this video right here, when I saw this motivated me. This inspired me. I was like, I like what this dude just said. I gotta go tell somebody about this. And this is the type of stuff I consume, not just Diddy. But what I'm saying is, I look at my visions, I look at my goals, and I say, who is doing that? Who is this person? The person that I envision when I write down my vision of who I want to be as a person, I think to myself, who is this? Who is this right now? Who's the person who is already doing this? And I go see what they're doing. I go follow them on Twitter. I go watch their YouTube videos. I go listen to them speak. I go buy every book that they ever wrote. I buy a book that they ever wrote. I go ask somebody, yo, you know anything about such and such? Tell me what you know. And I go get that information. I go read everything. I go listen to somebody else talk about that person. I go try to find out, because I want to get around that stuff. Anything you put yourself around enough, you will start to become just like it. You hang around smokers all day, eventually you're going to start smoking. You hang around people who got $1 billion, eventually you're going to start coming up with some ideas to make a whole bunch of money. You hang around losers, eventually you will be a loser. You hang around people who rap, eventually you're going to try to start spitting a rap for no reason. Why? Just because you're around it all the time. Anything you're around enough, you're going to start doing it. Do you understand that? You will always start doing anything that you immerse yourself in. So once you write down those visions and those goals, you got to immerse yourself in it. Is there a podcast, right? Care enough to respect the craft. Is there a podcast with somebody who is a superstar? Somebody tell me something that they want to be, so we can get some real life examples here. I don't want to just keep throwing out things that people can't actually relate to. Somebody tell me something all right, WNBA player, perfect. So you want to be a WNBA player. All right, has a WNBA player ever written a book? Go buy that book. Read the book 5 times. Read it 5 times a year. Read it every other month. Go watch videos of people in the WNBA. Basketball player, NBA, WNBA, rapper, producer. Go read about your favorite rapper. Read every story ever written about him. Go watch the videos of that rapper. Watch his music videos. Get immersed in that stuff. An ER nurse. Find out who is an ER nurse. Find the most successful one you know and go talk to him. Send him an email. Call him. Ask somebody who knows him. How can I get in touch with that? How can I get in touch with that person? You want to go into marketing. You want to go into marketing. Find the most successful marketing people you know. Read every book on marketing that you ever heard of, even if you don't know the author, because I guarantee you'll get at least one useful thing out of every single book you read. You got to immerse yourself in the information, ladies and gentlemen, whatever it is you want to do. You want to become a leader. Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be positive. Everybody wants people to look up to them. There are personal development things out there for all of this. A singer and a songwriter. And you've written 1,000 songs. Where do I go to sell them? Go find somebody who sold songs independently. Go find somebody who became an independent artist. Go look up that stuff. Go look up the information. How to get into the music business. Go look at somebody like Diddy. Go look at a 50 Cent. Go look at a Jay-Z. Go look at a Master P. Go look at these people who did their music independently and became millionaires doing it. This information is out there. You just got to go get it. It's out there. You got to go find these people and immerse yourself in them. So if they on IG, go get it. They on Twitter, go follow them. They on Periscope, go watch it. They got YouTube videos. Listen, how many YouTube videos can you find about, let's say, Tony Robbins? Let's say you want to be the biggest motivational speaker in the world. That's not what I want to be, but you want to be a Tony Robbins. You want to have all those followers and fans. You want to learn everything Tony Robbins teaches. There's 1,000 videos of Tony Robbins on YouTube. Watch all of them. Not one of them. Not some of them. Not the ones with the most views. All of them. I don't care if he said the same thing in 3 different videos. Watch it again. That's the only way you get immersed in anything. How many times you tie your shoes? Every day. You did it once. That don't mean you just do it one time. You got to do it every single day. How'd you learn the jingles to your favorite TV shows, or the jingles to the commercials on the radio, or the commercials on TV? You wasn't even trying to learn them, but you learned them. How do you know them? Because you keep getting them in your mind every single day. You're immersing yourself in that stuff without even knowing that you're immersing yourself in it. How many of you know that they'll go jingle to The Simpsons? You know they're going to jingle to The Simpsons? How do I know that? I haven't watched The Simpsons in 20 years because I listened to it. I heard it so many times. I immersed myself in it, and now I can never get that song out of my head, even though I wasn't even trying to memorize it. So what if you did the same thing about making money? What if you did the same thing about being the greatest basketball player? What if you did the same thing about being a rapper? What if you did the same thing about being an ER nurse? What if you did the same thing about being a producer? What if you did the same thing about building your brand? Do you understand how that is going to start becoming part of you without you even trying? If Vivid said I should own YouTube, maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I will. I gotta see if they for sale. I don't think they for sale right now. But do you understand what I'm saying? Do y'all understand the point of what I'm saying here? Do y'all get the gist of what I'm saying here? Let me know And now we're going to open up the floor for questions. Man, I've been talking for the last 90 minutes straight. So now let me take some questions. Yes, 10,000 hours, exactly. So let me take some questions from the audience. Can I please get some hearts, y'all? The hearts is dying right now. We don't want to flatline here on Periscope. Can I please get some hearts from the studio audience? If you're not following me right now, please follow me. Follow me on Periscope for your own good. Not for me, but for you. Bryce Norris says, what's my ultimate goal in life? Well, I got a lot of goals, Bryce. I don't tell everybody every goal that I got. Well, one of my goals is to keep empowering people. I'll tell you that. I will keep empowering people. The book by Tucker Max is called, it actually wasn't in his book, but just look up his name, Tucker Max. Put a C in there. Tuckermax. Tucker Max. I got a lot of goals. I don't tell people every single goal that I got, because there's been studies that show talking about it gives you the satisfaction that takes away a little bit of the motivation. But Chris says, how do you convince people to invest in your business financially? You don't convince people. You show them what you got and you find a person who wants to do it. Astro said, I empower him. I'm happy to do that. Do I think success is all about sales? Not necessarily. It depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're a salesperson, then yeah, sales is a big part of success. If you're a salesperson, and yes, everything is sales. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Figuratively speaking, yes. Storm said he loves my confidence. Well, I got a lot of practice in it. I actually wrote a book on confidence. It's called The Super You. Y'all want to read a book on confidence? I wrote it. It's called The Super You. You can get it on Amazon.com. What's up to Anton6664 in Russia? How do you gain influence? Read the 48 Laws of Power. That's a good one. Andrew said, what do you say to a girl that cut you off? You don't say nothing. Go find another girl. She ain't the only girl alive. If she's not interested, listen, if somebody don't want to buy what you selling, then you go find another buyer. Exactly. Like Aaron Raines just said, everybody's not going to buy what you selling. I don't care how good a salesperson you are or how great your product is. Well, you cut her off, then whatever. And why are you asking me the question then? You shouldn't be trying to talk to her. If you cut her off, go talk to somebody else. Can I take another question from anybody? We're talking about where there is no competition in life. How to completely eliminate competition. What's my best book? All of them. If I tell you to start with one, start with my first book. Buy a Game is free. You ain't even got to buy it. Go to DreAllDay.com. A little pop-up is going to come up on the screen. Put in your name and email. The book's going to get sent to you by email by the end of the day. And you can read it for free. And if you like it, then go read the rest of my books. And I'm telling y'all, next year, wait till y'all see how many books I put out next year. They're going to be like, yo, how are you writing all these? All right, do I got any other questions? Anybody got a question for me? This is Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. For those of you who didn't get my introduction, I'm an empowerment expert, background professional athlete, also professional speaker. What's going on? Emma Roger 1 checking in from Scotland. Shout out to everybody in Scotland. Ain't it like 2 in the morning over there? What time is it over there, Emma? Can I tell how many hearts I pumped out? No, I can't see it. Well, I could see it, but I would have to move the thing over and I will miss the comment. So I can't tell you right now, Bryce. But listen, once you do 500, you got to leave and come back because the rest of them don't count. Can I give one more example of competition at the top? No, not anymore, Tyrone. Just watch the video over again. You'll get it. Competition, how do you look at it? I just talked about that. Oh, it's midnight in Scotland. All right, y'all right there, right where England is, right? Scotland's right next to England, right? All right, it's 12:50 in Switzerland. So Switzerland's an hour further ahead. All right, I got it. When is the TED speech I do come out? Probably about 3 to 4 weeks after I do it. So sometime around Christmas, let's just say that. So I'm saying raise my standards for greater goals. No, if it was that simple to go hard, I wouldn't be talking for 60 minutes about the topic. It's not that simple. I'm at 5,009 hearts. That's what's up. Thank you everybody for the hearts. How do you be on your Periscope? He's new. Well, I can't explain to you Periscope, but all you do when you see the Dre All Day is live, you just click on it and watch and learn and get empowered. That's what you can do. Yeah, Scotland is above England. All right, very similar countries, but they say Scotland. Emma says Scotland is friendlier than England. All right, hopefully there's nobody in England here that gets mad at that, but all right. I think she said it with a smiley face, so I think it's like a wink, tongue-in-cheek thing. But thank you, Emma, for that comment. Thanks for checking in here on Periscope. Shout out to everybody in Scotland, man. Who else got a question? Anybody else got a question in the studio audience? I will take a couple more questions. So you need a Periscope on utilizing college ball to the best of your ability. What about it? I don't understand what you mean. Thomas said, am I going to upload it myself? No, it will not be on my YouTube channel. It will be on the TEDx YouTube channel. All right, the TEDx YouTube channel. How long have I been a motivational speaker? That's a great question. I've been a motivational speaker for about 10 years. Now, professionally, I've been a speaker about a year. But I've been motivating people in video for 10 plus years. What's the most popular thing to eat where I am in the United States? Can somebody tell me what's the most popular thing to eat in the United States? I don't know. I don't know what that would be. Can I stream my presentation tomorrow? Not me personally. I'm not streaming it. They might stream it. If they don't, it'll be up on the YouTube channel TEDx after. All right. Yeah, I know. I have McDonald's. That's a good thing. McDonald's. That's one. McDonald's is a good fast food. Yeah, that's the most popular thing. Fast food still sells a lot. Pizza, and pizza's kind of like fast food. Pizza, fast food, yeah, those are the most popular things in the United States. Candy, yeah, Five Guys is pretty much fast food. I don't know what haggis is. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, in the United States, we like things quick, easy, without a whole lot of work. But see, that's what the average people do. But listen, Emma, you gotta understand, ain't no average people in watching this scope. Ain't no average people want to sit around and listen to all this. Average people don't even want this information. All right, yeah, we know fast food is junk. That's my point, Trinkle. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, honey buns, fast food, anything you can get really quick without putting a lot of work into it. That's what the average American likes. But listen, we ain't no average people here. Average people do not seek this type of information. And if you bring this type of information to an average person, they will quickly turn around and run the other way. All right, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about self-discipline tomorrow at TEDx. Tony Robbins? No, not that I know of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Tony Robbins' schedule. He's not one of the speakers if you're asking that. Somebody, MJY asks, am I going to play ball professionally? Somebody makes me a Godfather offer. Don't you ask me a question like every day? Anybody else got a question? We talking about eliminating competition. It seems like I've addressed all the questions, because now I'm starting to get the random questions. All right, so we wrapping this one up, everybody. I'm starting to lose my voice. I got to stop talking. I got to give a speech in like less than 24 hours. It's going to be huge. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as DreAllDay. I'm an empowerment expert, professional speaker, branding and marketing expert, professional athlete. I've written 5 books. My website is DreAllDay.com. I'm on all your favorite social networks. Can I motivate you to work hard, Emma? I absolutely can. Email me, Dre at DreAllDay.com. I'll point you to all the resources. Listen. This is what I do, man. I just want to empower people. I want people to think better, live better, and be better after they read something that I write, or listen to something that I say, or watch something that I recorded. That's all I want. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to deliver value to so many people that y'all going to be like, listen, 5 years from now, I'm going to be like, yo, remember when we was watching Dre Periscope, and there was 29 people watching? Do you believe that? And now it's like 20 million, and now he can't even respond to his emails, and now he got so many people trying to book him that he can't even do all of them on the same day. It's crazy. That's the vision. All right, that's just one of the visions. I got so many visions, y'all wouldn't even believe it. But listen, we ain't got to talk about that. We wrapping this one up, ladies and gentlemen. Work on your game. Raise your visions. Go after the 10. All right, you go to the bar, don't go after the 6. Don't settle for the 4, and please don't go home with the 2. All right, go after the 10. All right, we out of here, man. My website is DreAllDay.com. Y'all can follow me. Y'all can follow me on my website. Follow me on all your favorite social networks. Y'all will hear from me tomorrow as far as the scope and the live stream for the TED event, or whatever the situation is going to be. That's what I do. I got to stop talking, man. I'm out here. Work on your game, man. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at DreAllDay. Instagram, Dre Baldwin. Facebook /Work on Your Game. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course. And the website is workonyourgame. That's .me. Workonyourga.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, DreAllDay.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved. Work on your